Promised Neverland Season 2. Like, comment, and subscribe. Emma, Ray, and the rest of the older children have escaped the confines of Gracefield House. However, with relentless demons set out to capture them, their erodous battle for freedom has only just begun. Despite venturing into the treacherous wilderness, the children remain optimistic due to their possessions of books written by William Manera. Coded within his book are messages detailing the world outside the farm, information that can help them survive with the limited resources they have. But when their pursuit draws near, the children soon encounter the most dreadful situation yet. In Promised Neverland Season 2, the children struggle in this strange, ruthless world, striving to find sanctuary they can call home. Promised Land Season 2 has 11 episodes, premiered January 8, 2021 to March 26, 2021, based off a popular manga series. It is sci-fi, mystery, psychological, thriller, and children. Each episode is 20 minutes per episode, and it is rated R and 17+ for violence and profanity. Now let's get started into the review. And the focal point between the main three of Norman, Emma, and Ray is that Season 2, it kind of shows the children where they left off, where they're escaping from their previous home, and you kind of dove into more of Emma's perspective, because Emma kind of gets off the similarity of Kirito from Sword Art Online. And with me saying this, I mean, Emma is very gifted as a young child. She can outrun the demons that are chasing her and the rest of the children. She can improve on her skills, I feel like overall, when you have also Emma and Ray together, Ray is kind of there to challenge Emma's idealistic goals and try to bring her back down to a more logical sense of reality, along with Emma trying to do anything in her power, no matter how, she acts as her, and Ray as a longtime friend, trying to bring her back to the anchor of things, try to explain what they're truly capable of, what they're incapable of comprehending, the world that they are not used to in the wilderness, basically. And overall, I think by them doing also the adaptation from the manga standpoint, and where, the kids have to survive on their own while being chased by demons who want to harvest their brains. But, other than that, they go through a lot of challenges to, the 11 span episode. And I feel like, even though it wasn't, the 12 episode span that we're used to seeing, I feel like we learn more about Emma's development as she learns to be, the leader of the group, and also what she needs to feel like her goal as a leader to take care of the children that she's in. I basically feel like when you're diving into the first episode, you see how Emma's handling everything that's handled at the orphanage, and there are some surprise characters that we've never seen before. These are totally new characters, and a recurrence to old characters as well. But I also feel like these kids, they have the books with them from the orphanage they did take with them. They learn more survival skills. Like in the first episode, she kind of lets the kids, potentially hunt for themselves, but, they kind of get some help in that kind of department. And no matter how you look at it, Emma always tries to have a smile on her face to make sure, the rest of the group doesn't feel down. And from my manga standpoint, I haven't read much of the manga standpoint, it could get a little different feel of the atmosphere. Overall, you see every of the characters' motivation behind their sudden change to their new environment, along with their goals and moralities in each of these episodes. And throughout the 11 episodes, we see that I feel like Promised Neverland Season 2 kind of finishes as quickly, but I feel like it could have done one more type of justice with it was broken up more and expanded more episodes. But I feel like, now don't get me wrong, when it comes to Season 2, I feel like it was just a little bit rushed in my standpoint. I feel like with the new characters that we were introduced to, we get a little more of the backstory. Also switch to the perspectives of the other kids and orphans that were left behind previously in Season 1. But I guess depending on the timing, whether that was due to the pandemic or before the pandemic even hit, and how they wanted to pace these episodes overall through the anime and introducing these new characters as a whole, I feel like sometimes they do have some similar adaptation and familiarity, but along with the common interest of these children, the demons are still their enemy. Not most of that we have seen so far, but I don't want to give too much away. I feel like also when you're introducing new characters and the motivation is going to come across clearly as it would from the manga adaptation standpoint from it than it would from anywhere else to manga to anime. But I think you'd have to watch the anime for yourself, because I feel like, even though I feel like every aspect of it was rushed, maybe it could do because some of the same facial expressions were used again, maybe the character animation, the background, and some of the monsters, but overall, I think it was really good. Behind the whole journey of the journey for these children, I think it was a good time to see, like, the horror is still there in Promised Neverland. It never truly went away, and that kind of like brings you on the edge of your seat. In hindsight, I feel like Promised Neverland does a good job of relaying those type of fear factors, and they do a good job of. And it was good to see this season come back. Overall, I did miss it. I did miss the characters. I did miss to see how, if they do choose to bring it back for a third season, if they're continue on with the manga storyline standpoint and bring some more of the elements into the anime, along with some of the more pre-decision notion: are the kids going to find the human world, and are they going to run into more problems besides just the demon, besides also the wilderness? Everything else trying to either eat them themselves or kill them. So, it's kind of like, were they better off? Not really better off at the orphanage, but like they could have used just a little bit more help than they were given. But the kids try their best ability to find food and shelters and means to keep each other sane and happy. Despite being in a world that's filled with demons, and trying to find the human world and see if they can make it to that border. I feel like there's a more chance of a more plot development story where it does take that pacing to go, and it thanks to other characters that they encounter, they learn a different perspective from the world than what they've been told and what they've seen, and learn to adapt that much to the world as mainly as possible. I think the main goal and objective of this anime is, trying to find the person who started them off at season 1 and trying to find them in season 2, and the key to their future and how they adapt and how they progressed. I feel like overall that in Emma's mindset and her world, her ideology, that there are certain things that aren't not as evil as she had seemed and need to be taken care of, but also, like, Emma, when she meets a certain character, she tries to make sure, like, they're not carried out by themselves, and, like, make them see, like, from their perspective, wrong from right, and to do the right thing, and then make sure that they're not turning themselves into monsters, and what they tried to run away from, that they're not trying to turn them into themselves, basically. And I think what I mean by that is, like, in every anime, the main protagonist always has an enemy they want to fight, but they end up turning into that thing they fought to overrule and defeat, and they end up turning into that thing they hated the most. And I think the anime does a good job of showing two characters, how they're on two different sides of the spectrums, and how they both change, develop, and grow into their emotion, their individuality, and show their personality to the forefront. I feel like, with the other kids besides the main three, Emma, Nora, and Ray, I wish the other kids were given the same type of details and background development and care development that the other kids did get, but I do understand, with it being a survival thriller horror story, that sometimes the other characters don't get the certain spotlight that they need to shine on their own. I feel like all the other kids have their own interesting type of mysteries, personalities to them, that I feel like they really didn't get to experience with themselves, or we didn't get to see as an audience, the rest of the kids' personality and what skills they can bring to the table. Hopefully, if they do bring this season back for season 3, we'll see more of the lovely monstrous creatures hunting them for their food, or in this case, the kids escaping in this more modern twisted version of cat and mouse chase. Even though it is about survival, it's about facing the future and not knowing what's coming next, and how the kids can take back what they once lost, which is their freedom and their identity. But thank you for turning this anime series. Hope to see y'all real soon, and definitely see you next Friday, Saturday, Sundays when I upload. Check out the new videos that are coming soon, and like I said, like, comment, and subscribe to join the anime family, and I'll see you next time. Until then, bye.